A relentless wave of narco boats ferrying drugs from the Americas has been met with deadly force from the Trump administration. But cartels are finding safer passage through the idyllic islands of the South Pacific. With massive drug exports coming out of the Americas, these nations are smack bang in the middle of a narco superhighway, where the destinations are the lucrative markets of Australia and New Zealand. Police here are facing off against drugs, gangs and criminal syndicates.
Wow, that's a lot of stuff.
The vests and stuff with Comanchero Tonga on the money, cash, drugs, guns, all those things you would expect in a seizure of this type.
Do you have any involvement or any links to the Comancheros in Australia?
In this Foreign Correspondent investigation, I'm teaming up with local ABC reporters in the Pacific. We take you inside a prison overflowing with drug criminals.
Never thought that this is the cell I'm going to end up in for the rest of my life, essentially.
We get an insight into what it's like running drugs across the Pacific.
Oh my gosh, it's tiny in here. Oh, it's hot. In this episode, we take you to South America, Tonga and Solomon Islands to investigate the new tactics smugglers are using to get eye-watering quantities of drugs through the Pacific. We show you how ill-prepared some countries are to deal with the flood of drugs hitting their shores. And we reveal how some countries' hardline deportation policies, including Australia's, are exporting criminal know-how to our vulnerable Pacific neighbours.
It's 4 a.m. I'm in the queue to catch an inter-island ferry from the Solomon Islands capital.
Hi, morning. You how? Me all right.
With my colleague, local ABC reporter Chrisnrita Aumanu-Leong, I'm heading north. We're on the trail of a new drug smuggling route. The Solomons is made up of more than 900 islands, so boat travel is a part of everyday life. Our 3-hour ferry ride takes us far from the bustling, urbanised capital.
The little village that we're going to, how remote is it? It's remote in the sense that there's no electricity. It's just pretty much just people there living a subsistence kind of life.
We reach the island of Malaita, but our journey's not over yet.
Well, we are going to this community called Forau.
And this is near where you're from?
Yes, Malaita province, that's where my dad's from, and so this is also where I'm from. Just close to where my village is, but yeah.
It feels very innocent out here. But that's changing fast.
Yes, there is, of course, a little bit of drug smuggling into the country, but to the extent of it being reported and what's out there is still unknown. So still a lot of questions unanswered.
The only way to make the last stretch of the journey is by boat. This is Forau, home to about 2,000 people. We've come to see Robinson Fugui.
Oh, wow. So that's it?
Yeah.
It's amazing. Can we go have a look?
Last year, he found something extremely unexpected floating offshore. This is a narco sub.
Wow. First time you look in this fella bod, what na thinking blow you?
It is first time in life we see this guy.
Cartels have been using semi-submersibles like this for decades to ferry drugs up the coast of the Americas. But there's increasing evidence some can now make it all the way across the Pacific Ocean, a 10,000-kilometre journey. Narco subs are designed to carry tons of drugs, along with fuel and a small crew. This one is 17.5 metres long and has space for at least 2 outboard motors on the back. The top is painted dark green, so it's camouflaged against the ocean from the sky. When fully loaded, everything except the very top and the pilot station is submerged, so it's hard to detect at sea level.
Oh my gosh. It's tiny in here. Oh, it's hot. This is crazy. This is the inside of a narco sub. I can't imagine how many people they'd fit on here. I mean, you could potentially sleep someone there, but it would be incredibly small. And just to think that for however long they're in here, all they can do is see out these tiny windows, and otherwise they're stuck in the middle of the ocean in this fiberglass prison. How did you see it?
Look, early morning, Saturday, when me ready for go market, me come out from house, time sanya me rise, then me look him no signal blow light, osem glass. So me say, what now this one? Where signal osem? So time me look him one for object and float, lo see.
He and his cousin Martin went to check it out.
Tell her, osem with a flight for good. Ma what now? Ma boat na this one.
They waited for 30 minutes. Then Martin volunteered to go inside the mysterious vessel.
So time jam go me garan fia too. Then me out him na small knife bloom. And me all them then walk about go on top no.
Why do you hold him knife? Then you go.
Me suspect him in one mas inside or any animal or something. And me all them knife.
You fried too?
Me garan fried.
There was no sign of the crew or cargo. Solomon Islands police came to inspect the narco sub. They took the steering wheel, gears and some plastic bottles. But there's one part of it neither they nor the cousins have checked.
The front lo hull, him sealed, yeah? Think they blow you for cut him, this fella, front lo bot?
So she think you got him you na.
Then me survey pay him. Then me buy him narco sub. We not got him any use for narco sub.
New narco sub owner.
I may have no use for the narco sub, but the cousins are hoping someone else might.
How much do we sell him?
Whereby me sell him loem no ma. I best 150,000 then. That's enough.
That's about 27,000 Australian dollars, a bargain considering they can cost up to $1 million to build. Grand plans aside, the cousins seem unsettled by what the arrival of this narco sub might mean for their country and community.
When you learn in this fella vessel him used for smuggling drugs, what na feeling blow you?
I'm no much good blow me. Me are much I'm no me feel no good too eh. My rubbish boat yeah.
So lesson blow mi fala, no more mi fala osem. Ota new drugs where mi manufacture it, mi cross-criminal war this all time. So each family, you must try for you perfect team or at the beginning from this fella or the drugs, or the new drugs. Because you may look him like I blow me that this one, lo here waiting you. So I mean him that this one cause supply you.
No one knows exactly where this narco sub came from, but there is one clue. On this pipe, it says, made in Colombia.
I've come back to the capital, Honiara, to do more digging.
The narco sub we just visited most likely came from Colombia, where the majority of the world's cocaine is produced. Authorities there have been dealing with narco subs for decades. My colleague in Colombia has lined up an interview with the Colombian Navy in the port city of Buenaventura.
More than 10,000 kilometres away, fellow journalist Simone Bruno picks up the investigation.
Hey Stephanie, we are heading to Malaga, which is the main base of this region and the second biggest base in Colombia.
He's being taken to interview the commander of the Pacific Coast Guard. But on the way, his escort, Chief Officer Oscar Moesis Lucheta, has something to show him.
Nos encontramos en el Museo de los Semisumergibles de la Fuerza Naval del Pacífico. Como Armada tenemos, la primer encuentro que tuvimos con ellos fue en 1993.
Constructed in clandestine jungle shipyards, the first narco subs were simple and unmanned, known as parasites.
Simplemente era un contenedor, ¿ya? Un contenedor que lo ponían debajo de los buques o lo colocan debajo de los buques.
But quickly they've evolved. This one can hold up to 9 tons of cocaine.
Entonces tenemos este que es tipo eléctrico, ya que cuando se encontró tenía un banco de batería de 24 baterías, 2 aletas estabilizadoras, un radar, para que fuera viendo lo que tuvieron que salir del agua los tripulantes.
Then he reveals something quite alarming.
Eso todavía no podían llegar a Australia.
A Australia, pues cualquiera de estos puede llegar a cierto punto, que a la mitad del camino lo retanquean. ¿Qué retanquear? Le echan más combustible y los pueden llevar, ¿ya? O sea que eso, dependiendo la capacidad del combustible, es que ellos pueden llegar.
In fact, in February 2024, the Colombian Navy did discover a narco sub headed directly to Australia. Here it is under guard as the Navy open it up. Inside, they found 4 tons of cocaine.
Positivo para cocaína y sus derivados.
They also found maps showing how to reach Australia. The 4 crew were arrested. The narco sub was scuttled at sea. Since then, 2 more have been intercepted en route to Australia. The Navy estimates the journey would take about 35 days. Pacific Coast Guard Commander Captain Fernando Duran says Australians pay 5 to 10 times more for cocaine than the rest of the world, making it an extremely attractive market.
Eso hace que sea un negocio mucho más rentable. Hablamos de que 1 tonelada de droga, de cocaína puesta en Australia está generándole a estos grupos ilegales cerca de $150 millones.
Globally, narco subs are becoming more and more appealing for traffickers. In the last 2 years alone, the Colombian Navy has seized 37 semi-submersibles, all jam-packed with drugs.
Nos hemos encontrado con que las organizaciones transnacionales han optado por hacer menos cantidad de viajes, pero mayor cantidad de sustancia que envían. Estamos hablando de 5 toneladas, 8 toneladas de estas sustancias ilícitas.
We've asked Captain Duran to take a look at some pictures of the one we visited in Solomons.
Una probable capacidad de transporte de 1 a 2 toneladas. Se ve que que como tal fue ya abandonada. Muy probablemente la causa del abandono es alguna falla dentro de su equipamiento o que se haya hecho el transbordo del material o las sustancias que venían a bordo de este semisumergible a otro tipo de embarcación para poder ser llevada pues, hasta una parte más continental.
It's a game of high reward that comes with incredibly high risk for some.
Personas que arriesgan sus vidas al enfrentarse al mar, en embarcaciones que normalmente no cuentan con todas las condiciones adecuadas para que ellos puedan subsistir o sobrevivir en el mar. Si hablamos de los semisumergibles, pues son embarcaciones que son también susceptibles de zozobrar en el mar. Adicional de que son espacios súper reducidos en los cuales los mismos gases que generan los motores terminan afectándolos a ellos.
In the space of about 18 months, 4 narco subs have washed up here in Solomon Islands, all with no cargo and no crew. On this one, locals found an Ecuadorian voter ID card for a man named Jose Brian Mina Velez. And we've been investigating what happened to him.
Working with journalists in Ecuador, we've discovered he was a fisherman who went on a trip and never came back. There's evidence he may have been recruited or forced by drug traffickers to work on the Narco sub. He was last seen in a notoriously violent part of the country, the coastal province of the Esmeraldas, a dangerous place where fishermen are routinely reported missing or murdered. When our colleagues tried to find out more about him, they were threatened and the trail went cold. Solomons has a poor track record of dealing with drug importations, something that deeply frustrates the island's Director of Public Prosecutions, Andrew Kalesi.
In the last 10 years or so, has anyone been charged in Solomon Islands for crimes relating to methamphetamine or cocaine?
We do not prosecute any drug-related offence on meth or cocaine under the Dangerous Drug Act, ever.
The problem extends to manufacturing and possession too. In a watershed moment in August, police found a substantial amount of meth at a property in East Honiara.
How much meth was found?
I would say, I think probably more than 500 grams. There are other apparatus too. There is a clear evidence that the local productions was actually happening.
A Chinese national was arrested, but stunningly, Mr. Kalesi couldn't recommend police charge him because Solomon Islands had no law criminalising the manufacture, supply or possession of methamphetamine.
And that's not the first time.
How many times do you think that meth has been found here in Solomon Islands and people have not been able to have been charged?
Well, for me, there were at least probably 5 incidents.
So is it correct then that if you found someone sitting in their house with hundreds of kilograms of methamphetamine, you couldn't have charged them?
No.
It's crazy.
Yes, it is.
He'd warned police behind closed doors about the legal loophole, but it took him going public for the law to be amended and penalties to be strengthened.
With this issue of drugs, it's something that we cannot be silent about. And if we continue to treat this as just business as usual, then we are setting ourselves into a very dangerous future.
It's not hard to see why drug smugglers might target the Solomon Islands. Customs have no detector dogs. They don't use the container X-ray machine at the port, and the police are severely under-resourced. I'm meeting with Police Assistant Commissioner Patricia Letta, who doesn't deny the challenges they face. She tells me they've only been to investigate 2 of the 4 narco subs that have washed up here.
Why not the other 2?
One was in Malaita on Tonga, so we have transport difficulties. And the one in Makira, the team is yet to attend and do a full assessment.
How can you be sure with those 2 that you haven't been to yet that there are no drugs on board that could have come into the community?
At the moment, I cannot make any comment regarding that because the team is yet to properly assess the narco sub.
The resourcing issues that the Solomon Islands Police Force are facing, they're well known, they're not a secret. Do you worry that Solomon Islands is at risk of becoming a drug smuggler's paradise?
Yes.
Our next stop is the Kingdom of Tonga. 3,000 kilometres away from Solomon Islands, east of Fiji. It too is a vulnerable small island nation on the Pacific drug smuggling superhighway. But here, police are actively preparing against the threat. The Tonga Police Drug Squad and heavily armed tactical response group don't mess around. Today's a training exercise. A repeat of an actual raid they did last year. It feels very real. We can't show you the officers' faces because this country is very small. And their job is extremely dangerous.
How many of these types of operations would you do in a year?
Usually 100 to 150 a year.
100 and 150 sounds a lot. What do you put that down to?
There is more trucks coming into Tonga.
And what sort of drugs?
It's methamphetamine.
The detector dog, Cricket, finds something. It's the real deal. The source of these drugs is not Asia or South America. It's the United States.
I've been on the drugs unit for about 9 years now, and I could tell that the most drugs that's been imported into Tonga comes from the US.
A lot of it comes inside shipping consignments. There's a huge Tongan community in the United States where there's opportunity to link up with cartels and criminal syndicates. At the port, sniffer dogs are trained to find drugs in all kinds of places. Here, I'm meeting Tonga's police commissioner, former AFP Commander of Specialist Operations, Jeff Turner.
How are smugglers hiding drugs?
Look, your imagination's endless at the end of the day. I mean, it can range from, false walls and compartments of containers right the way through to, just concealed and second-hand goods that have been sent by family from overseas. And, it's very much similar to Australia as well, the rip-on, rip-on method where it's just piggybacking a legitimate cargo. So, trusted insider can get access to it and just pull the package out before it's really cleared.
Yes!
Good gear.
It's not just cargo consignments.
Fishing fleets are notorious for moving narcotics and other illicit goods, and that's just a fact.
Not long after we arrive at the port, the dogs are unexpectedly deployed to search a suspicious fishing vessel that's just arrived from the US territory of American Samoa, a red flag for authorities.
They're searching absolutely everywhere.
They have good reason. Drugs are flooding into the South Pacific. In January, authorities in French Polynesia spent 48 hours searching a boat bound for Australia, the MV Raider, finding 4.8 tonnes of cocaine hidden in specially designed welded compartments. 2 weeks later, on a different boat, they found another 4.2 tonnes of cocaine hidden underneath fuel tanks. It took them 72 hours of searching to find it. Today, this boat gets the all clear.
Malolele.
Malolele, Steph.
My colleague, local ABC reporter Marian Kupu, has been following the rise in drug busts here.
There is a drug problem here in Tonga. Tonga is a very small country of over 100,000 population. So when drugs hit Tonga, it hits quickly.
She says it's pretty easy to tell when someone's caught up in the drug trade.
Everybody knows everyone. So, for example, if you were living in Tonga, I would know where you work, how much you make. But then when your spending exceeds how much you make in a legit job, it will raise a concern to me personally. How can you afford that flashy car or cars or new houses?
So who's involved in drug crime in Tonga?
So recently we've had a staff from Prime Minister's office arrested. We've had a senior banker arrested. We've also had deportees being arrested. Deportees are people that have committed crimes in the countries that they live in after serving their time, and then now they are deported here in Tonga.
One of those deportees is this man, Enyase Taumoa-Folau. The 44-year-old was removed from Australia in 2022 after doing time for drug trafficking. Back in Tonga, he set himself up in Nuku'alofa's most expensive hotel and started posting about his flashy gangster lifestyle.
Just be calm when things go.
His videos referenced the Comancheros, a notoriously violent Australian outlaw motorcycle gang. Taumoa-Folau's younger brother, Christian, was the sergeant-at-arms for the Victorian branch and is currently doing life for a murder the judge described as brutal, barbaric and callous.
Police in Australia say the Comancheros are heavily involved in the drug trade there. Were people alarmed when they heard the news that there was potentially a chapter of the Comancheros setting up here in Tonga?
In a way, it felt scary. I want to know why they want to target their own people here in Tonga. Why would they want to disturb the peace that we have here in our little country?
A police drone captured the moment Taumoa-Folau's glamorous life came undone. That's him carrying the red bag containing packages of methamphetamine that arrived in a cargo consignment from the US. His associate drives off, is intercepted by the tactical response group, who shoot into his engine as he reverses. Taumoa-Folau then exits his driveway. But police are waiting. His arrest was part of a highly secretive, targeted police effort called Operation Burrito, run under Deputy Commissioner Tavita Vailea.
Wow, it's a lot of stuff.
Police raids on a storage unit and a vehicle found this startling array of Comancheros gear.
Did you expect to find so much Comancheros gear when you did the raid?
To be honest, we did not expect that much.
The vests and patches pointed to a formal gang structure in the works.
How many members of the Kingdom chapter of the Comancheros here in Tonga had been recruited when you did the seizure and made the arrests?
Formally, it was close to 10 members, but there were ongoing work to recruit more.
Tamor Falau even had this branded motorcycle with the abbreviated slogan, "Always Comanchero, Comanchero always," a nod to the fact once you join, you can never leave. In the operation, police also seized several kilograms of meth.
What's the danger of an outlaw criminal motorcycle gang imported from Australia or New Zealand actually gaining a foothold here in Tonga?
It's the established networks at the end of the day. The biggest danger really is around connecting with already long-established connections that exist for drug supply from Southeast Asia and South America.
Tonga police are in the middle of an intelligence assessment to establish what gangs are actually present in Tonga and how serious they are.
I think we had an opportunity there and did a very good job on shutting down an OMCG, the Comancheros in Tonga. I don't think there's a gang culture as such, but I think there is a growing gang influence.
I'm going to find out more about how the deportation policies of Australia, New Zealand and the US are fueling the gang influence here in Tonga. In the last 16 years, those countries have deported almost 1,000 Tongans, half with criminal records.
Hello. Hi.
Hello there.
Steph. Nice to meet you.
Jay, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Vivili, thank you so much for having us.
1 to 2 deportees arrive in Tonga every week. Through the NGO Dare to Dream, Vivili, Jay and Selu give new returnees the support they never had. They all left Tonga as kids and returned with the baggage and scars of criminal convictions.
We moved here to Hawaii, and it was a beautiful place to grow up. But like drugs is everywhere. And that's what brought me back, drugs.
What was the crime?
Possession. I mean, my drug of choice is ice, crystal meth.
I spent 26 years in prison. It was a robbery turned into murder. From there, I got released 2020 when I got here to Tonga.
Despite being clean and out of the game, their old lives do haunt them here. It's not hard to find drugs in Tonga.
Basically, the biggest problem is ice.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Crystal meth, that's what they mostly have here.
They say there's immense pressure to link up with criminal elements upon return.
I guess they target the deportees. They know how to shut up, they're not going to explain. They're going to go do their time, things like that. The local guys, they just tell on everybody. But we came with the mentality that no snitching there.
Yeah. So you get targeted, deportees or returnees get targeted in Tonga because
and it's easy.
The criminal organisations think you guys will know the drill.
We don't talk, we're going to do our time and go home,
Coming over here to Tonga and running into the problems that we ran into, not being accepted by family, by your villages, just people looking down on you, not giving you opportunities. We knew that would cause a bigger problem because we'd all default back to what we're used to.
The biggest challenge is myself. Yeah.
In what way?
I think the isolation.
And what holds you back from going out and about and connecting with people here?
Myself, because I think because I know me, where I've been, and scared of myself. I don't want to start, going backwards and stuff. So many times that I'll sit there and think about something, I should go do this or that, but I don't.
Sadly, their efforts to support others are not always enough, and too many returnees do end up back in prison, which is where Marian and I are headed.
What's it like inside the prison?
So they have, here in Tonga, the gate is very open.
Right.
So the criminals will be out and about, walking freely inside, within.
We're here to meet the prisoner whose name is synonymous with Tonga's drug, gang and deportee problem. He's the one featured in those Comanchero TikTok videos. He's serving a life sentence for importing 2 kilograms of meth into Tonga, and he's never spoken to the media until now. This is Anyase Taumoa Falau.
You were deported to Tonga in 2022? Yep. After serving time in Australia. And you hadn't lived here since you were 5?
I left here when I was about 8, I think.
You were quite blatant about your life here on TikTok when you got back, posting hashtag Comanchero's life and then the Tongan flag emojis and posts about Gangland Tonga, and you called yourself the Comanchero boss. Why did you do that?
I think I was still bitter at the Australian government for deporting me. It was just a dig at them. It was just from the day I knew I was coming back to the days I spent in detention, that's all we ever got told, that you're not going to succeed anywhere or go back and do anything. So the TikTok thing, like, I understand it, and it was just me having a dig at them. It wasn't nothing else. And that's the honest truth.
Do you regret it?
Yeah, look at what's happened, you know, but I think it's been blown out of proportion in a lot of ways.
So do you have any involvement or any links to the Comancheros in Australia?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
What are those links?
I can't speak on that.
I imagine they would have been unimpressed, potentially, to have their stuff seized and such a big deal made of it.
Maybe.
He doesn't deny the Comanchero vests and patches were found in his possession, but he says he never succeeded in setting up a chapter in Tonga.
They're saying that I set up a chapter. I never set up a chapter. I was very bitter about the Australian government sending me here. So I had this whole idea to just set up and do everything because they deported me. It was my bitter way of getting back. It was just stupid. But I was reckless and I was very ambitious in the way I thought I'll do it because it'll really, really piss them off.
The Comancheros have strict rules, and he says he couldn't be sure members would follow them.
I got the patches thinking I was going to do that. But then when I seen the way the culture was, it was dismantled because I had to be the one that answered for everything, and it was not here. The sophisticated whatever it is that had to be done, it's not here. The criminal underworld that I find, even in the prison, it's not here. It's not intelligent to the level we would consider doing that. So it got dismantled.
And when you say there wasn't the level of criminal sophistication here to be able to set up a chapter, what did you mean by that?
For example, like snitching or talking or stuff like that, it's so normal here for them to just talk.
I want to ask you about the drugs case that you've been convicted of unlawfully importing 2 kilograms of methamphetamine.
I cannot speak that. We're going for an appeal on that, and everything that you'd want to know will be on there.
Police do have evidence of you paying money to the person who supplied the drugs in America. They've got evidence and drone footage of you handling the drugs, putting them in a car. Do you deny all that?
I have my own explanation for all of it.
But you must have known what was in that bag if you bothered to bring that out of the house and put it in the car.
How could I have known?
What did you think you were putting in the car?
You're trying to get me to answer these things, but I cannot confirm those things. The appeal, everything should come out then.
How strong are the impacts to your family with what's going around with you here in Tonga?
Yeah, I guess there's a lot for my family what they've had to put up with. I don't have immediate family here. They're all overseas. Like my parents fly here more often. My old man's starting to get sick because he's worried.
Just taking a big step back, how did you end up joining an outlaw motorcycle club and being banged up in a Tongan prison for life?
All of my own faults. That's how that happened. This is not a good life for those who think that they're going to go join a gang and be involved with this brotherly organisation. The walk is very lonely and you do it by yourself. And I've did enough time to understand that. And I think a lot of those young men are confused about what's really coming and how that life really turns out.
So this is it?
Yeah. My room's just here, it's the first one in.
So this is your cell?
Yeah, this is my cell here.
And you get to keep the key to your own cell?
Yep. We actually do the unlocking the keys.
Bit different
Yeah.
to Australia?
A lot different. Yeah, so this
Wow.
is the cell here.
Pretty small.
Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't expecting company.
We'll forgive you. Yeah, wow. So do you share this with someone else?
There's two to a cell.
Wow.
And that's the only window.
Yeah. Wow.
We don't have PowerPoints or lights or anything like that, but we're allowed to have candles.
It must be extremely hot in here.
Yep, it is.
It's like a sweatbox.
Very.
And Yassi, I spotted a tattoo on your leg before. Can you show us?
Yep.
Where did you get that one?
In Tonga.
Yeah. Do you have any regrets about that one?
Yeah, maybe it's a bit obvious, but yeah. But yeah, I don't regret getting it. I just maybe shouldn't have put it so that it's so in people's faces.
It really hits home, and I say what you said about, you know, the gang life doesn't always lead to something glamorous and it can be pretty lonely. It really hits home seeing this.
This is a very good example of where you're going to end up. I grew up in Australia, so I'd never thought that this is the cell I'm going to end up in for the rest of my life, essentially. So it's yeah, it's eye-opening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
The South Pacific feels like a place that should be immune from the insidious world of drug crime. The only reason it isn't is because of its neighbours, us. As long as Australia's appetite for illicit drugs and willingness to pay top dollar persists, the future of these islands and people is at risk of being a paradise lost.